All right, let's go. So, are you already starting to feel the effects of winter? You know, it's very easily shifted up like that. So, how do you do that? Well, you use all of your senses. You don't just look and go, oh, you know, it's getting darker. You go, haha, December 21st, and this is in my logo, that's represented right here. We just passed Halloween right here, and we're on our way here to winter solstice. So we're ticking away here. You can see that. But what we get caught up in is we get caught up in the darkness of it. And we get caught up in the idea that the days are getting shorter and something is wrong with that. But as soon as it reaches right up here, the days begin to get longer. So if we focus on what's not working, well, I'll be personal about this. I like long sunny days. So as I anticipate this, do I set myself up to feel down? Do I set myself up to be affected by the season? Well, of course I do. But if I can move into anticipation right here, winter solstice, right there, then I can anticipate the light. So, hey Maverick, hey Lorene. So what I'm talking about is let's not get caught up in what's not working. Let's focus on what is in your life, in the world. And then from that place, let's move into a state of positivity. So, you know, the days are getting shorter and the nights are getting longer for whoopy. But do we focus on that? No. What we focus on is, the days are getting longer. I don't feel very well. So what if you focused on the long nights ahead? And know that we're right here. We've just come past this. This is Halloween, Samhain in the Celtic tradition. We're on our way right to here at winter solstice, where everything begins to get lighter. Okay, so now we're in this area. And if we focus on the dark, if we focus on what's not working, what we don't like, well, I have to confess. I've been focusing on what I don't like about winter. And guess what? It hasn't been making me happy. So, hi Hector, hey Meg, nice to see you. So, I can stay in that feeling of unhappiness, of wanting to be somewhere else, about wanting the weather to be different, or I can shift out of that darkness into, I wonder what I can plant right now that's going to come up over here, right here, at spring equinox. So what kind of seeds can I plant? Well, I decided to plan a vacation. And I'm excited about that. I'm not sure how it will all turn out, but when I have something to look forward to, even if we're right here and we're going all the way to there to look forward to it, then that puts your heart into action. Your heart gets drawn towards these things that are exciting to you. So, what seeds are you going to plant right now in this dark time as we're moving into winter solstice and then beyond? What are you seeding right now? All right, let's shake it up. Because ultimately, you are the only one in your life that can change your mood. Other people can try. They can bring you little prezzies and they can make you laugh, but no one else but you can change that up. So when you own that, I'm the mistress of my moods, or I'm the master of my moods. When you own that, then you realize that you're very powerful. You understand your essence, and I started the week talking about that. Last night on Enlightened Spiritual Warriors, I talked about how to know if you're an empath. So today, let's drum some golden white light of love into the nooks and crannies where we've hidden things away that we don't like. Let's allow them to come to the light, because it's only then that we can actually make that shift. So as I was whining about the winter and the weather and the wind, a friend of mine would say, I'm going to call the whambulance. Whambulance. So, as you notice yourself, because you will, commiserating with yourself about the weather, about how short the days are, about how isolated you feel. Let's counterbalance that. Let's shake that up. So the first thing, when you find a resistance, when you find a place in your life where you've bumped into something, you don't like it, you don't like how it is, and yet it's still with you, and maybe even it's been there for decades, a very good tool to use is the rattle. See, right there, rattle, right there. It's part of my logo. So this particular rattle is the only rattle that I've ever purchased online. The rest have either been given to me or I made myself. This is a gourd. I love gourds. And this has got rabbit and probably, there was more of that feather before, but probably turkey. So, and we're coming right up when we're going to honor the turkey by eating it. Mm-hmm. Now, you might think that that's a strange thing to do, but when you have a power animal, when you have a spirit guide, when you're honoring that, and that being, whether it's a whale in the olden days that allowed itself to be taken, that was an offering, and the people honored it. They weren't just able to run into the grocery store, get themselves a frozen one, bring it home, thaw it out, and eat it. There was a whole ritual around that. So as you begin to come into this time of giving thanks in the dark over here, then remember that animals are giving their life for you. So honor them, say a little prayer. My prayer before I eat is, I have blessings on all the beings who are willing to give their lives so I could continue mine. And that honoring, well, what it does is it allows the cycle of life. Something gave their life so I could continue mine. And let's remember there's a place for the dark. Without the dark, no seeds generate. Without the dark, it's said we wouldn't know the light. But I wonder if that's true for you. I wonder if this year, which is shaping up to be quite profound, if this year is going to be the year that you shed light into, on, and over the darkness. So So right now, that's what we're doing. Right now, we are raising the vibe to 700 or above. We are raising the frequency to love. And even if we only do it for a few moments, a few minutes, you have contributed to this daily dose of golden white light. So what are you noticing as we move into the dark, as we travel the wheel of the year? What are you noticing this year? And are you willing to do something different this year than you did last year or the year before? You know, maybe it's time for us to shift up from being consumers to being creators. And so, if you're finding that your favorite things to give aren't there, perhaps it's time to create something. One of the most memorable gifts, heart-touching gifts I ever got from anybody was a piece of poetry that describes how they perceived me. Now, I haven't framed it, but that piece I will always remember. So, pull out your creative side. Maybe you can make applesauce. It's always a wonderful gift. Maybe you can make cranberry relish. Maybe you can just show up with cookies. Now, honestly, who doesn't like a batch of cookies? And when you make them and you pour love into them, they taste way better. And what does it take for you to do that? An hour of your time. And those cookies will have a bigger impact than a $50 gift. So what if this is the year that we say yes to being creative? You know, I have an online friend that makes birdhouses. So maybe you can make someone a birdhouse. Maybe you can make someone a bird feeder. Maybe you can make them a cover for a book. One year, I did batiks. I did placemats and napkins. It was a beautiful labor of love. And whether the people that I gave them to actually still have them or not doesn't matter, because I feel it in my heart. So this behind me is a batik. It was done in Bali in 2006. It's my logo. And it was wonderful to go to a village where all they do is batik, where their craft is communal. So use your creativity to give gifts from your heart, from your fingers. Create something that has more meaning than a gift card, or more meaning even than anything else that you can give. And the reason that this is important, particularly now, is there's a lot of energy going into lack mentality. You know, I mean, Black Friday has already started. It's just the beginning of November. Buy it now or you won't get it. It's that scarcity mentality that we've all been brought up with. You know, if you don't get it now, it might not be here. And so we cram our house full of stuff. We have so much stuff that we have to go and get ourselves a storage unit and put our stuff in there. Humans, we are so fascinating, but maybe we watched the squirrels and we got that from them. But the difference between us and squirrels is the squirrels are going to go back and make use of that. They're going to go and eat it. You know, I know people who have storage units that they haven't been in for 4 years. You know, seriously, if you haven't needed something for 4 years, do you think you really still need it? But you know what? Maybe we'll change that. Maybe we'll start by looking at what's in our storage units and what can we let go of. What could someone else use? And if it has value, it's lovely to be able to get that value for it. But think about this. If it's sitting there for 4 years, not having any value to you, what is the true value of it? And can you let it go so that someone else could find value in it? Think about how the world would change if we took all the things that we have in our houses right now, not even go outside of our house, that we aren't using, we haven't used. You know, I have these bowls. This set, I had a set of 3. And I was holding on to them, and they were way back in the back of the cupboard. Now, I had people stay here this summer, and it never occurred to me that anyone would be rooting around that far back in my cupboard. But one of them got broken. All of a sudden, this 3-bowl set is a 2-bowl set, and it's no longer has the same value. Right? So, but did I go, oh, I can let go of that? Or even did I start using them? No, I put them way back in the back of my cupboard there. Now it's no longer a set, completely valueless. They were really old. So what stops me from pulling those out and using them? So see if there's pardon me, see if there's something in your life that you're holding on to that you could actually put into use. And if you're not using it, if you've decided that, like me, the 3 set had a value, 2 of the 3 no value, then perhaps it will be valuable to someone else. And let's start doing that. Let's use these dark nights for whoopy and all these short days for clearing our space. All right, let's raise the vibe. So can you shift into the light? Can you take a moment when you start feeling down, when you start feeling, oh, it will never be spring, then my invitation to you is twofold. First of all, go and count the days until spring. That'll be like nice practical left brain kind of thing to do. And then the right brain body thing to do is get yourself some more vitamin D. A few years ago, I fell into a depression in the winter time, and I was telling one of my friends who helps people with mushrooms, I was saying, oh, this is terrible, and he brought me some liquid D3, vitamin D3, and no medicinal mushrooms, but vitamin D3 literally within a few hours shifted how I felt about the days, how I felt about myself. It gave me the ability to go on. So stock up on vitamin D3. It's also really a great boost to your immune system. And what it was discovered was that people who had large quantities of vitamin D in their bloodstream suffered with COVID much less. So get yourself some D3. Comes in liquid. Take more than the recommended dose. And if people ask you why, you can say, because Shiela said so. Now, the thing is, this is a total aside, but this is maybe bringing us into the light. In other countries, the normals for things in our blood, the vitamins, like vitamin D, vitamin K, and other things are significantly higher than here. So when you go out to look at the normal for vitamin D3, look at other countries as well. And as a matter of fact, let's have a stop and look at other countries for everything. How are people in other countries coping right now with shortages? Are they experiencing that? Are you experiencing that? What's happening in other places? How are they dealing with things? When we look outside of our small community, even our country, we find that not everyone is responding in the same way. Outside, yes. So, what I say, 20 minutes a day will relieve depression. And most folks, when we're feeling low, when we're feeling depressed, we don't want to go anywhere. So the idea of putting on your boots and your coat and getting outside is sometimes overwhelming. So my invitation to you, if that happens, is first, give yourself some vitamin D. And secondly, just go to the door. Open the door and stand there. And yes, you're going to go, oh my God, it's freezing out here. But just take 10 breaths. Hi, Tina. And in going to the door and taking 10 breaths is a wonderful start to getting all the way out the door. And spend 20 minutes. Walk around in your neighborhood. See who's got their Christmas lights up already. See what's going on. Look at the flowers and the plants and watch them as they go to seed and as they go to compost. This is the time of the year when we're composting. All right, let's raise the vibe. And let's just not settle for being alive. Right now, if you have hopes and dreams and aspirations, I just bumped up into one that I had no idea. I want to be the first woman millionaire in my family. I want to do that. I want to teach other people. I want to grow and expand. I want to help so many women get unstopped, yes indeed. I want to help. See, I get so excited. I want to help so many women move from stuck to unstoppable. I want to really create a movement of women who are doing what they love with people that they love and are prosperous. And you know, you all that are here with me right now are the first. I've told Lorene, but I haven't told anybody else about that, about being the first woman in your family to do fill in the blank. What would that be? Would it be the first woman in your family to go to college? Would it be the first woman in your family to be a nurse? I love it. Sheila is a money magnet. Well, there's a reason I send golden white light of love, right? That to me, I mean, there's white light, but then there's that golden white light. And if we recall that what we put out comes back to us 3 to 10 times, then you'll drum. You'll do it every day. You'll raise your own vibe. You know, some days I don't want to do this. Some days I'm like, oh, I really don't want to. And then I go, wait a minute. And I realize that it's been helpful. It's helpful to me. It gives me a daily focus that I am committed to. Last year, when I drummed 361 days out of 365, what I learned is that I can do it. What I learned is I learned constancy. It's not consistent, it's not being consistent, it's being constant. You constantly show up. And you guys are really good examples of this because you constantly show up here. And we have an energy flow going. And in doing that, what you're participating in is helping people who don't even know us, because this vibration here permeates right through the walls and the windows of my house, past the trees, past the water, past the island over there, all the way around the world, and all the way through the earth, through every fiber of every being. So I can stand for that. I can stand for influencing positively every being on the planet. What I stand against is I stand against us getting caught up, thanks Hector, in all of this darkness, where we can just actually remember that here we are, tick, 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 ticking away to winter solstice. Yes, it's getting dark, but as soon as winter solstice, boom, here comes the light. All right, so let's bring this home. Wow. I swear that if you use this to clear your sinuses, it will alleviate them, because immediately goes in there and you can breathe more easily. So, you know what time it is now, right? It's time to give some love, accept, and receive all that the universe has for us. Okay, energize your hands. Place your hands on your heart. Take a nice deep breath. Touch yourself. All right. And here we go. I open fully to give, accept, and receive all that the universe has for me. Let me see if I can just back up a wee bit. I can. All right. I open fully to give. Give it away, give it away, give it away. Accept big bowls with your hand and receive all that the universe has for me. One last time. I open fully to give, accept, and receive all that the universe has for me. Namaste, aho, bliss, and in case no one has told you so far today, you are amazing. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Love you, see you, bye. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for taking this vibe into your heart, into your body, and radiating it out 360 degrees. So blessings. Thanks for the love. Bye-bye.